Hi everyone, in the previous lecture we talked about assignment operators in numbers, and in this lecture we are gonna start talking about strings. Let's begin our lecture. Strings are very important. Strings in Python are identified as a contiguous set of characters represented in the quotation marks. If you wanna create a string, you have to use these quotation marks. You can use single quotation mark or double quotation mark or triple quotation mark. I'm going to explain when you use which one. So, of course, we use these string values in our previous lessons. So this is, for example, name equals Mehmet this is a string type. I'm going to create a string by using double quote or single quote. I'm gonna change to single quote, and of course I can use triple quotes. If you want print this name, I'm gonna print my name equals Mehmet. The most important things about strings can be indexed with the first character is having index 0. For example, I'm gonna get just the first letter. How can I get the first letter of this name variable? I can get by using index name square brackets, and I'm gonna write 0. Shift enter. Yes, the first letter of my name comes up. Why I'm writing 0 not 1? Because the first character in the Python programming language is 0, and this index is 0, this index is 1, this index is 2, this index is 3. You can look at, for example, name first index E. You can look at second index H or third index M. If you wanna the last index, you have to write 5. The output is T. Indices may also be negative numbers also. Start counting from the right. For example, I can use the negative numbers. I'm gonna copy and paste and write -1. -1 stands for T. If you wanna get negative numbers is different from the positive numbers, because the positive number, the first character, the index number is 0, but the negative numbers first character is -1. For example, I'm gonna get the -5 and the E is my output. And also we can do some slicing on strings. For example, the first part is start part, second part is stop, and stopover. I'm gonna explain in an example. For example, I'm gonna get the name variable here, and I'm gonna write name and square brackets. We will be using square brackets for slicing and indexing. And I'm gonna write, for example, 0 colon 3. What I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get the first 3 letter of my name. So this is the starting point, this is the stopping point. You can get all the letter. For example, I'm gonna write 6. Okay, I'm gonna get all the letter. 0 is the first letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 means the T. Yes, the important point is not the last output name. Maybe you can understand that the fifth character is T, but we write 6. The stopping point not included. Okay, stopping point not included. And also we can use the negative numbers in our slicing part. I'm gonna copy and paste, and I'm gonna write -3 to -1. Okay, shift enter. I'm gonna get the me. For example, I'm gonna get the 6th element and 2 first element. Yes, this is negative numbers I'm using. This is slicing, and we're gonna use positive and negative numbers. And we can use step over. For example, we are gonna use the same example, and I'm gonna add colon and, for example, 2. So what's the output? Shift enter. You can look at the 3 letter. The first letter, N. skip this E and this third letter, and skip this M and get the fifth letter. This means it's step over. Another topic I'm gonna introduce you. You can print string 2 times, or you can concatenate them. For example, I have name and surname variable. I can concatenate them. For example, I will write name plus surname. Shift enter. Okay, I can get the Mehmet tag. Of course, you can add some space here. For example, I'm gonna add some space here. Okay, shift enter. Yes, look at this part. I add some space here. As you see, my friend, I'm not writing print all of the function because Jupyter Notebook can give me output of this line. Normally you have to use print function all of these, but I'm not using print function because we are in interactive platform Jupyter Notebook. You do not need to write print every to see the output. We will use this. Okay, you can add and concatenate the strings between using this plus symbol. Of course, you can multiply these strings. For example, I'm gonna multiply name, multiplication, symbol, and 2. Shift enter. Look at the output. Mehmet, Mehmet. You can multiply by 5. Okay, I have 5 Mehmet here. Okay, another important feature of strings, you cannot change strings partially. The strings are immutable. For example, I'm gonna get name, the first letter of name equals M. I'm gonna assign a new letter, for example, T. Shift enter. Okay, I have type error. As you see, my friend, I have a type error. str object does not support item assignment. You cannot change strings partially. As you see, strings are immutable, my friend. If you need a different string, you should create a new one, my friend. For example, if you want to change this T in the Mehmet in this name variable, you have to create new variable. Its name is name, and assign a new value this variable. For example, I'm gonna write John. Okay, let's look at what's the name is. Okay, now it's changed and new name is John. If you need a different string, you should create a new one. You cannot change strings partially, my friend. These are immutable. This is very important. If you try, you can get the type error. My friend, be careful about something this. For example, I'm gonna use double quotation mark, and maybe you can use the single quotation mark in a double quotation mark. This is very important concept. For example, single quotation mark, Mehmet doesn't say. Okay, look at this part. Because this is different color, these are red, these are black. Because Python thinks that these are string and does not define this part. Because we use single quotation mark, but in this part we will use doesn't. In doesn't, you can see the single quotation mark. If you wanna solve this issue, you have to use double quotation mark, and there will be no problem. You will use double quotation mark at the end and first part, and you can use any quotation mark, any single quotation mark in it. Okay, there will be no problem, as you see. For example, you can use the triple quotation mark. Triple quotation mark can be used if strings has so many lines. For example, I'm gonna add double quotation mark, and if you have something like this is a string. If you have several lines of string, you have to use the triple quotation mark. You cannot use single or double quotation mark. If you do this, as you see, this color is now black because there will be an error. If you want to write something longer, you have to use triple quotation mark in strings. Okay, maybe you can use escape in sequence for the solution of this point. For example, this backward slash is important in Python programming languages because if you write, because I'm gonna copy and paste, and I'm gonna change the single quotation mark, and I'm gonna add here backward slash. As you see, color is changed. I'm gonna shift enter. Okay, there is no problem. As you see, my friend, Python thinks that after the backward slash, you can use this single quotation mark. Python thinks that there's no problem. This is not the quotation mark. Python thinks that this is not the quotation mark that I'm looking for. Python look for this quotation mark and this quotation mark. This backward slash says that the Python, this is not the quotation mark you are looking for. Okay, my friend, these are escape sequence. You can solve this quotation problem by using this escape sequence. Also, you can use backslash n character. How can you use this? For example, I want to be the say in the next line. You can use backslash n. Yes, you can look at this example. The backslash n means that the other part of this part is start with the another line. Backslash n means that after this part have to start the another line. Also, you can use the other escape sequence backward slash t. For example, backward slash t, I'm gonna write shift enter. Okay, you can see this space. This space is a top space. Backward slash and t escape sequence means a top space. You can use in your codes backslash t. Okay, how can you solve this problem? Because this is a normal string. This is a normal string, but there will be backslash n, there will be backslash t. I'm gonna shift enter. There will be a problem. We can solve this problem by adding some backward slash. Okay, you can add some backward slash here. Also, you can use r string. I'm gonna add r, the beginning of this string. I'm gonna shift enter. Yes, look at this output. There will be no problem. Okay, these are important features of string. I talked about strings in this lecture. We will be talking about some string methods in the next lecture. See you in the next lecture, my friend.